welcome back to the channel. And of course, with SUVs being absolutely everywhere on today's roads, it's nice to have one of the original ones, one of the Land Rovers. Yes, it may not be a Defender, although this Discovery Sport, even in this urban edition, which really doesn't mean that much, still has really impressive and true off-road capability. And with the train response too, having an auto mode means the car can sense what train you're on and adapt itself accordingly. And with a wading depth of still 600 millimeters, you're going to be able to get out of trouble very easily in this car. Just make sure you avoid that entry-level D165 with the front-wheel drive powertrain, as of course that's a little bit pointless. Of course you still get the high ground clearance, but with the four-wheel drive models, this has proper off-road capability, and of course fitting some off-road tyres to it would even make it even better. But we're going to take a look around it. As you can see, it's sort of Volvo XC60 size, so it's a really nice usable size. Lots and lots of glass in the car, has very good visibility actually. Our particular car is in the Carpathian Grey in the Urban Edition, and we have the D200, which is a 2-litre Ingenium diesel engine with 204 horsepower, hence the name D200, with a mild hybrid electric motor and the automatic gearbox, and of course that 4-wheel drive. But, you know, since the Discovery Sport was introduced in 2014, with the updates and refreshes they've made to it across recent times, it's looking really fresh, and you can definitely see the resemblances to its larger brother, the proper Land Rover Discovery. And it's nice with the trademark sort of styling cues and these particular 21-inch alloy wheels, sort of like a star shape, so even when the car's parked, it looks like it's going fast, which is pretty cool. So, as I mentioned in the introduction, we have got the 2-litre Ingenium 2-litre diesel in the D200 tune, so that's kicking out 204 brake horsepower with 430 newton meters of torque, which, you know, has really quite impressive performance, this car. Yes, the 0-62 time of 8.3 seconds for the 5-seater version, and a little bit slower for the 5+ 2-seater version, because of course you can specify this car with a couple of extra seats in the back if you wish. But the torque that this engine delivers, and it's also one of the smoothest and most refined diesel engines I've heard in a very, very long time. A vast improvement over the old 2.2 generation that was found in sort of the earlier Discovery Sports and in the old Range Rover Evoque. It really is a very impressive engine indeed, and it will keep going up to 130 miles per hour. And of course, being a diesel, it allows pretty grunty towing capability, and this car can tow up to a pretty respectable 2,500 kilograms. Around the back of the Discovery Sport, the traditional sort of Land Rover style continues, but it's a very nice, contemporary and pretty athletic style, particularly in this Urban Edition model. You know, with the chunky black roof spoiler, the blacked out Discovery badge on our particular version. And down here, it looks like there's two dual exhausts. I can confirm they are not, they are just plastic. However, I still think it makes the car look nice and angular. The rear exhausts are located on that side, underneath 2-litre ones pointing down. But then, do you really want to see exhaust in a diesel car? Probably not. So when you open the boot, that boxy styling really comes into its own, as it opens to reveal a very generous load space actually for this particular class of car. And of course, earlier I did mention the fact that you can choose to have an optional 5+2 seating package. This car hasn't got that, but with this capacity you can see how for this class of car they've done really well to be able to squeeze a couple of extra seats in. And of course up here we've got a little 12-volt socket, which is useful. And under here there is no spare wheel in this model, but I mean, who cares when you've got that size storage bin under there? That really is very versatile indeed. And yeah, and the tailgate sort of wraps around nicely, so it's going to create a nice bit of shelter for you on a nice rainy day. You know, it doesn't quite have that split tailgate of the larger Discovery and Range Rover, but it's still a great place to, you know, chill out and have a great time. being in the back seat of the Discovery Sport isn't exactly the short straw, as this seat in front is set up for someone that's 6 foot tall, and you know, I've still got plenty of room. And with our particular huge panoramic sunroof on this particular version, and a little great feature the panoramic sunroof has is the fact that it closes when you lock the car and opens when you get in it again. So you know, you're not going to avoid getting into a super hot car on a nice day, which is a very nice feature. In the middle here, you've got a nice little centre armrest with a little bit of storage. And like I say, the middle seat, thankfully, because the transmission tunnel is relatively small, you know, a middle person can sit in here quite nicely. The floor wells aren't the largest, however, it's really not going to be a problem, and there's plenty of headroom, allowing you to sit up straight in the back of the Land Rover Discovery Sport. You know, seat back pockets, a few air vents. There's no USB ports in the back of this car, which is a bit of a shame, and something that I would kind of expect. You know, this is sort of the middle to higher end model, and I would kind of expect it to have. We've just got a 12-volt socket here, and there is none. But you know, you can get over that, and that may be an option to be able to pick. And on the door cards, we've got some really nice detail with the red stitching, and the quality is reasonably good, and everything feels nice and durable. So I don't think it's gonna look terrible if you get it a bit dirty, which of course you can. And a great feature is the fact that the seals go right underneath, so this bit of the car always remains clean. So you know, you can off-road it every day, but you're not going to get so dirty when you get in and out, which is a nice feature and a very Land Rover feature. Up front in the Discovery Sport, it's a very easy and functional place to get used to. Yes, we have quite a lot of screens and stuff, but everything is relatively logical, and I do particularly like how we haven't actually got a full digital driver display on this particular model. But you know what, that's okay, and it's actually a really functional place display to have, as it displays everything you want and has some really nice crystal clear graphics. You know, the driving experience of the Discovery Sport is much like the driver's display, simple, intuitive and very functional, and I mean that in a positive way. The way it goes down the road is very reassuring, it's predictable, it doesn't lean too much around the corners despite its side. Of course there is some body roll, don't get me wrong, but it's definitely nothing too concerning at all. And it's very refined. The diesel noise makes almost no noise at all, and it always remains punchy. And of course, having the reassurance that it can get through a flood if needed, or if you fancy a day out exploring a byway in the countryside and taking it off road, you know it's more than capable, and it looks good whilst doing it all too. So this particular test vehicle of Discovery Sport we've got here comes with the optional adaptive dynamics, and as of testing, that would cost you an optional £815, and that basically allows the dampers of the car to adjust up to 100 times per second in order to give you the best comfort and agility of the car, depending on the circumstances and the road conditions. And you know, it's not too bad of a car when you get it going. That diesel engine has pretty impressive torque, you know, that 430 Newton meters, so you can get out of trouble very well indeed. And in terms of fuel efficiency, of course you'd expect a car like with a diesel engine like this to deliver pretty good fuel economy, and I'm pleased to say that it's not too bad, and on the tank you can get sort of about 500 miles, and Land Rover claim at around 40 miles per gallon, sort of 38, 40, and from our experience that's been about right, sort of been average 38 sort of mixed driving and getting about 42 on longer sort of 1 to 2 hour drives on the motorway. So that's not too bad, and on the tank, the 65 litre fuel tank will allow it to travel around 500 miles per tank. The package delivered by this Discovery Sport is really impressive, and there's such a wide variety of options, different trim levels to choose from, so it really can be suited to your personal taste and preferences, and of course your needs and wants as well. And you know, it does do a lot of things well indeed, so you know, if you want something that really can go off-road if you want to, a bit more than just your style-focused SUV, then certainly go have a look at the Discovery Sport. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video on the Discovery Sport. If you could like, subscribe and comment, it really does go a long way to help the channel, so that'd be really heavily appreciated. Let me know what you thought of the vehicle in the comment section below, and any video suggestions and anything at all.
Always love to hear from you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much.